Yo, what's good, fam? We just want to make a quick video. No time to get pretty. I ain't shaved or none. Just here drinking the coffee, and I had to just do a quick video about these dudes on ESPN or FS1. These black commentators or these black reporters that like to always take a shit on black players every chance they get. Now, people tell me, quick to tell me, "Oh, you're making it a race thing." I'm making it a race thing, even though I admit I am pro-black, but if it's a race thing, I'm just gonna call it out. I ain't one of these motherfuckers that ain't gonna call it out. And what I mean by a race thing, what race thing I'm talking about in particular in this one, is that Le'Veon Bell. I was never a fan of Le'Veon Bell, but I can't hate on the game. But Le'Veon Bell, he was caught bowling Saturday before a Sunday game in which the team ruled him out for being sick. Now people jumping all on him, all on him. Oh, it don't look good. Oh, this is why Pittsburgh ain't win no championships. All this monkey shit. And I was like, hold on. Hold on. In sports, especially in football, you got to question yourself why the quarterback always gets most of the credit and none of the blame, unless they're a black quarterback. Hey, follow the shit. Rams, why the Rams ain't doing good? Oh, even though Jared Goff did regress, they got the worst contract in the NFL by Todd Gurley. But hold on, Jared Goff getting paid 2 times more than Todd Gurley. So wouldn't that mean Jared Goff 2 times more important than Todd Gurley? So if Todd Gurley can't perform to his usual standards, shouldn't Jared Goff be able to uplift him? Don't give me that bullshit that quarterbacks getting paid more just because. No. We ain't doing it just because shit. You say that for the dummies. Quick to give franchise quarterbacks, quick to give white quarterbacks hundreds of millions of dollars, but nobody else. Oh, my bad, white players. Example, J.J. Watt. I think he had $200 million contracts already. But when Washington gave Albert Haynesworth a $100 million contract, oh, that's one of the worst contracts. What has J.J. Watt done? I'm asking. The year that he was out, there was no one defense in all of football. I'm asking, what has he done? How many playoff wins has the Houston Texans gotten since J.J. Watt been there? How many games were they blown out in since he been there on defense in the playoffs? Damn near all of them. So, but they gave him their money, no question. No question. But I got off topic. We talking about Le'Veon Bell. Now, let me be devil's advocate. Now the optics, I can see how the optics didn't look good. We rule you out for being sick, but you a day before playing, you out bowling. One the day after, one the day of the game, the day before. I can see how that optic would look bad, but if you knew the whole story, the optic wouldn't look bad. See, that's the thing about the media; they give you a piece of the story just so they can get ratings and headlines. Le'Veon Bell out bowling. This is why they just didn't want him. Pittsburgh fans, Pittsburgh Steelers. This is why y'all didn't win a Super Bowl. That's what Shannon Sharp said. Mr. Wannabe pro-black. Mr. Wannabe with cap, but all of a sudden changed his tune. But I got you motherfuckers. Stephen A. Smith, the rest of you, I got y'all. And I started thinking, I said, the reason why Pittsburgh didn't win Super Bowl was because Le'Veon Bell. Now, I admit he did things. He got suspended for drugs. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say he was always the most mature person, but shit, you 24, 25 years old, getting life-changing money. I mean, shit, how mature you gonna be? Especially coming from places where a lot of us come from. See, that's what people don't understand. I'm not saying there's no excuse, but if a white team in Texas that gets drunk and kills 5 people, if he can get out or be put on probation for influenza because he ain't no difference between white and wrong, if he can kill people and not go to jail because he got so much money he don't know right from wrong, why can't y'all give us that benefit of the doubt? Or give them that benefit of the doubt? They ain't never had this type of money before. But I digress. We back on Le'Veon Bell. Now, what tripped me out is I went back and looked at the numbers. Regular season, postseason. Now, what thing I want to tell you is Pittsburgh made the playoffs, what? 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. They made 5 times since he was there. 5 times since he was there. Yeah. Was it? I think it was 5 times. Now, what tripped me out is they want to blame, well, Shannon Sharp, yo monkey ass. Well, Pittsburgh, that's why he ain't winning. Because the optics. But hold on. But when you know the true story, like I said, the true story is that he was sick. He came back the day before and said, hey, I'm good. I'm ready to go. I feel better. They said, no, we don't want you around because you might infect somebody else. You might feel better, but you still got that virus. You might infect somebody else. Okay. I can understand that part right there. But he said he ready to go. He wouldn't get on the field. Now, my question is, how many times a player been injured and still played? How many times players been sick and still played? That happens all the time. And people give him credit for that shit. But for some reason, they told Le'Veon Bell don't go. Because he might give somebody else the flu. And came out that one person, a running back, Bilal Powell, I think he caught the flu as well. I don't know if it came from Le'Veon, but they say he caught the flu. Okay. But yeah, still. Y'all told him not to show up. The same team, if you recall, because we got to remember, because I remember it's shorter than 5 fucking seconds. You got to recall that Adam Gase didn't want Le'Veon Bell there. So the new coach, the new head coach, didn't want you there. The same head coach that got the GM fired. The GM that gave you the contract got fired because the coach didn't want you there. So you got this same coach. And you come to them saying, hey, I'm ready to go. They say no. But people can't see how that might be the Jets' fault too. This dude ready to go. Y'all don't want him to play. You can say, well, he might give somebody else the flu. How many times other people been sick and still played? That happens all the time. So why was this time different? Yeah, I admit he ain't had to go bowling, but fuck it, hey. I already know the coach don't like me. I already know y'all finna trade me. And I told you I'm ready to play. It wasn't like I said I was sick and I can't make it. And then I go bowling. That's a whole different ball game. You told me to stay away. I'm feeling better. I'm gonna do something to get my strength back. I'm just gonna do something. Because I want to play football. But since I can't play football, I'm gonna do something. He ain't do nothing strenuous. He went out playing basketball. He went out playing flag football. He went drag car racing. He just rolled the ball down the line. That's all he did. Throw a ball down the line. That's it. None strenuous. Roll the ball down the line. That's all he did. And they trying to kill him for it. But let's get to this. Pittsburgh did win the Super Bowl because of Le'Veon Bell. Okay. Rookie year. He only played 13 games. 244 rushes. 860 yards. 3.5 a game with 8 TDs. Which ain't great. But he was a rookie. Almost 1,000. 8 touchdowns. 66 targets. 399 receptions. Now, this is all in 13 games. In 13 games, he had 289 touches, catches, and rushes for 1,259 yards. 8 touchdowns, and he lost 1 fumble. Steelers were 8-8. So 1,259 total yards, 8 touchdowns, 1 fumble. 1 fumble lost that season, and they were 8-8. They made the playoffs. Next season, 2015 season, he played the full 16 games. He had 290 rushes, 1,361 yards that season. That's 4.7 a carry. Almost 5 a carry. That's great. 8 touchdowns. 105 targets. Yeah, they're throwing the ball to 105 targets. 83 receptions. So he's almost an 80% clip on catches for between 840 and 850 yards and 3 touchdowns. So he had almost 1,400 yards rushing, almost 1,000 yards receiving, and 11 total touchdowns. That season, 373 touches, 2,215 yards total, 11 touchdowns, Pro Bowl and All Pro. And they were 11-5. Now that season, at the end of that season, after the All Pro season, he ain't playing the playoffs that year in 2015. You know why? Reggie Nelson hit him in the knee when they played Cincinnati. Screen went out. Gotta get my notes. Reggie Nelson hit him in the knee when they played Cincinnati. Hyperextended his knee, so he couldn't play. Now, is that Le'Veon Bell's fault that his knee got messed up, jacked up by the Bengals, and he couldn't play? No. Or was it? Shannon Sharp says it was. Because, Le'Veon Bell, the reason why they couldn't make it. Really? He got his knee hyperextended, and he couldn't move. He can't walk. And you expect him to run and play? Okay. 2015 wildcard game versus the Ravens. Now, Ben, this first ballot Hall of Famer y'all speak of, they don't get no blame. 31 of 45, 334 yards, 1 TD, 2 picks. He threw 2 picks. Heath Miller had a fumble. So 3 total turnovers from Pittsburgh and none from Baltimore. That's why they lost to Baltimore. Could Le'Veon Bell have helped if he wasn't hurt? Possibly, sure. He could have helped if he wasn't hurt, but he was fucking hurt. He couldn't move. He can't walk. So how the fuck is he gonna help you running the ball if his knee hyperextended? He can't play. But y'all ain't saying nothing about those 2 picks that Ben threw. Y'all ain't talking about them 3 turnovers that the Pittsburgh Steelers had. Baltimore didn't have any turnovers. That's why Baltimore won. Pittsburgh had 3 turnovers. Baltimore had none. Okay. Let's go next year. 2015-2016 season. That season, he only played 6 games. He had 113 rushes for 556 yards. That's 4.9 a carry. Pretty good. 3 touchdowns. And also in that short span, 26 targets, 24 receptions, 136 yards. So in those 6 games, he had 137 touches, 692 yards, and 3 total touchdowns. You know why he only played 6 games that year? He got a torn MCL. Vontaze Burfict, again, Cincinnati. So back-to-back years. First was Reggie Nelson, hyperextended his knee with a helmet directly on the knee. And then there's Vontaze Burfict, towards MCL. Now, people can say what they want. One thing you can't say is that he ain't durable. He durable. But who can take a knee? Who can take a helmet directly to the knee? Motherfucker diving at you like a Scud Melson and hit you in the knee. You ain't running him full speed, but he coming at you full speed and hyperextend your knee. And then the next year, you get your MCL torn on a dirty play. But that's Le'Veon Bell's fault. Really, Shannon Sharp? In that year, 2016 playoffs, when they played the Broncos, Ben, he wasn't bad that game. 24-37, 339 yards, no TDs. AB didn't play that game. Le'Veon didn't play that game. Both probably were hurt. I don't know about AB. I know Le'Veon was hurt. MCL torn. He wasn't playing. Next year, let's go to the 2016-2017 season. That season, 12 games. Now, we got to remember he was suspended for drugs for 4 games. So he only played 12 games. In those 12 games, 261 yards, 261 rushes, 1,268 yards rushing. That's 4.9 per rush. 7 touchdowns, 94 targets, 75 receptions, 616 yards receiving with 2 touchdowns. So in that season, those 12 games, he had 336 touches for 1,884 yards and 9 touchdowns. He had 4 fumbles. But 336 touches 1,884 yards, 9 touchdowns. And Pittsburgh 11-5. In 2016, 2017. Now that year he was able to play the playoffs because he wasn't hurt. Helmet didn't hit him, or he didn't get his MCL ripped out by Cincinnati. So round 1 versus the Dolphins. Le'Veon Bell had, this is round 1 versus the Dolphins, 2017 playoffs. Bell had 29 rushes, 167 yards, which was a Steelers playoff record. I'm going to say it again. 29 carries, 167 yards. What did Ben do, you might ask? Why Bell had 29 carries? Ben was 13 for 18. 197 yards. 2 touchdowns and 2 picks. Now, had that been Cordell Stewart, Vince Young, Donovan McNabb, Mike Vick, any black quarterback you name, they gonna say, damn, that was terrible. But since it was Ben going 13 for 18, only 197, didn't even throw for 200, and threw 2 interceptions. They're not gonna say anything about that. Ben led them to victory, even though Bell had 29 carries, 167 yards, a Steelers playoff record. And what did Antonio Brown do that game? He only had 5 catches, 124 yards in both of those touchdowns. So in the first game that Bell played with the Steelers in the playoffs, 2017 versus the Dolphins, he had more yards. Ben only had 30 more yards passing than Bell had rushing. Ben had 197 yards passing. Bell had 167 yards rushing. And he also had 2 catches for 7 yards. But we ain't going to talk about them 2 catches for 7 yards. We're going to talk about them 29 for 167. We ain't got to talk about that 63% of Ben's passing yards went to one person. So that means he wasn't throwing nobody else but Brown. So is that the game that Le'Veon Bell cost them? No. Okay, let's go to the next game. Next game. Same playoffs, 2017. Versus the Chiefs. What did Mr. Bell do? Oh, he only had 30 carries for 170 yards. Yes, you heard me right. After he had the 29 carries for 167, he turned around and had 30 carries for 170. And then he injured his groin in that game. 30 carries, 170. What Ben do? 20 for 31. 224 yards. No TDs, 1 pick. So you mean to tell me, once again, 2 games back to back, Le'Veon Bell, outstanding, Ben Roethlisberger, one shit. 20 for 31, 224 yards, no TDs, and a pick. But this your Hall of Fame quarterback. And Mr. Le'Veon Bell, one of the reasons why they didn't win the Super Bowl, he only had 30 carries for $170. So in those 2 games, those 2 playoff games, his first 2 playoff games with the Steelers, 59 rushes, 374 yards. Damn near 400 yards in 2 games. Off 59 carries. But it's Le'Veon Bell's fault they ain't win the Super Bowl. And you said they were straight face. Okay. Like I said, Ben 31-47. No. Like I said, Ben 20 for 31. 20 completions, 31 attempts, 224 yards. No touchdowns, 1 interception. What did Mr. Brown do? He only had 6 receptions, 108 yards, which was almost half of Ben's yards to one person. With 11 targets. But The other receivers in that game, Jesse James had 5 receptions for 83 yards. Pretty good. Eli Rogers 5 receptions, 27 yards. So most of his yards came from AB and Jesse James. They had 191 of his 224 yards. Okay. Now let's go to the AFC Championship game, 2017. You know what happened that game? Bell was injured from the Kansas City game, groin. They gave him an injection. After the first quarter, he couldn't go no more because his groin got fucked up again. So is that Le'Veon Bell's fault? That he had 59 carries? My bad. We're going to count the 6 that he had in New England. Is Le'Veon Bell's fault that he had 64 carries in 9 quarters of football? 64 carries in 9 quarters of football. That's 7 carries a game. That's 7 carries a quarter. So if you do 7 carries per quarter, that means Bell was getting the ball. If you want to stretch that out to a full game, he was getting 28 carries a game. 28 carries, not catches, carries a game. 28. What running back in NFL history? 28 carries a game. Maybe I don't know. Because I ain't been watching fuck the NFL, but still. 28 carries a game. And he was doing this in the playoffs and producing. But when he got hurt against New England, they lost. They lost to New England. And their score was 17-36. So the Steelers scored 17 points against the Patriots without Le'Veon Bell. But that's Le'Veon Bell's fault because he had a groin injury. And what did Ben do? 31-47, 314. That's decent. 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Really? Throwing these picks. So that whole playoff run. Ben Roethlisberger. Ben had 3 touchdowns and 4 picks. 3 touchdowns and 4 picks. But Mr. Shannon Sharp want to tell me that Le'Veon Bell is the reason that Pittsburgh didn't win the Super Bowl. The first time Le'Veon Bell was able to get in the playoffs and make a run with Pittsburgh, 2017. He had 59 rushes, 374 yards in 2 games. The third game, he got injured. Well, he got injured in the second game. In the third game, he couldn't go. And even in that game, he had 6 carries for 20 yards. So in 3 games, 64 carries, 394 yards. So, 64 carries. Nah, my math wrong. I'm trying to get my math right. Yeah, 64 carries, 394 yards. That's 6 yards a carry. That's 6 yards a carry. And that's still, even though he got hurt in game number 3 and only played 1 quarter, that's still 131 yards a game if you do it for 3 games. So 28 carries a game and about $131. But he the reason. Not the dude that threw 4 picks and only had 3 touchdowns. Not that dude. Not that dude. Not him. They only threw for 245 yards a game. Your running back averaging 131. Even with the injury game, he averaging 131 a game. Your quarterback gave you 245 a game. But it's the running back's fault. I would think that if your running back can get you 131 yards a game, I would think that even if your quarterback play was average, I would think you will be winning those games. I say about 85% of the time. But correct me if I'm wrong. But they lost that game to the Patriots. And then the following year, when they lost to the following year. Oh, and one last thing about that 2016-2017 season. He wasn't all-pro because he missed those 4 games. They made Jay Ajayi all-pro. Jay Ajayi, now, total yards, Le'Veon Bell had more total yards, more touches, and more touchdowns. Jay Ajayi had 287 touches, 1,423 yards, and 8 touchdowns. Le'Veon Bell had 336 touches, 1,884 yards, and 9 touchdowns. So Bell had damn near 200 more touches. Well, he had damn near 150 more touches. And he had 400 more yards total. And one more TD. And his team went 11-5. But he went all-pro. Jay Ajayi was all-pro. But we ain't here to argue about that. We're here to talk about why Shannon Sharpe wanted to say that Le'Veon Bell is the reason why Pittsburgh didn't win the Super Bowl. Okay. Then his last season at Pittsburgh, 2017-2018, 15 games, 321 rushes, 1,291 yards. That's 4 yards a carry with 9 touchdowns, 106 targets. They throw it to him a lot. They give him the ball a lot. 85 receptions, 655 yards with 2 touchdowns. So totally, he had 406 touches, most of his career, 1,946 yards. I think that's second most in his career, with 11 touchdowns. And he was all-pro. And their team was 13-3. So, what did he do in the playoffs? Against the Jags, 16 rushes, 67 yards. It's not. But the Jags D was serious. 1 touchdown, 9 receptions, 88 yards, and another touchdown. So, in that game, he had 25 touches, 155 total yards, and 2 touchdowns. That's 6.2 yards per touch. So anytime he touched the ball, that's 6.2 yards. And then he had 2 touchdowns. But it's his fault they lost to the Jags. They lost 45-42. So it's his fault that the defense gave up 45 points. It's his fault. And his last year that he held out because they won't give him the bread. You lead the league in rushing, or you one of the top running backs every year in the league. All-pro 2 of the, 5 years, he all-pro 2 years. Goes to the Pro Bowl 3 years. 1 year he was a rookie. Another year he was injured. Only played 6 games. So not counting his rookie year and not counting his injury year, we played only 6 games. In 3 years, in those 3 years, where he played when he wasn't a rookie and he wasn't injured. Even with the suspension. 3 Pro Bowls in 3 years and 2 All-Pros. And Pittsburgh didn't want to give him that bread. And Shannon Sharpe comes out and says, well, since this the reason why y'all didn't make the playoffs. Really? Really? So you telling me his long playoff run, in 9 quarters, 64 carries, 594 yards. His long playoff run. 64 carries, 394 yards. His long playoff run. 9 quarters, 64 carries, 394 yards. Averaging 131 per. If you want to stretch that out for 3 games. While being 3 touchdowns, 4 picks. And averaging 245 a game. But that's Le'Veon Bell's fault. And then second time in the playoffs, they lost 42-45. That was Le'Veon Bell's fault too. See, this is what I'm talking about, that bullshit narrative that anytime a black player does something wrong, that the media comes down on them hard. And they don't get white people to do it. They get sellouts, Shannon Sharpe. You on Stephen A. Smith level. You like Jason Whitlock and the rest of them motherfuckers. I had to put your ass on blast. Now, end of the video. Think what you want. I'll be back with another one. Peace.